One Piece. I'm officially caught up to the sub, aka the Japanese version of the show where everybody else is at. I've been waiting for this forever. I still have probably like 16 to 15 episodes left to watch, but as far as like the English dub, I finished it all and it has been amazing, bro. This Egghead Island arc is crazy. I think to me the probably I don't know what I would consider like the most crazy thing, but as far as like the storylines we got from the Straw Hats right now, I think the more interesting one is obviously Kuma, right? We're getting to see his origin story, how he came to be, find out that Bonnie is actually his daughter. Now, I'm not really too sure how much more we're gonna get, if that's all that is to his storyline. Obviously, he's trying to get the egghead for some reason other than like, you know, destroying his body. But I think just the journey that he has gone on and whatever the world government held over his head, the, you know, essentially force him to not only become a cyborg, but inevitably a slave to all of the dragon youngins. What are they called? I can't even think of it right now. But that was before, obviously, Sabo saved him. Now, that is like the most, like where my brain is at, where I'm thinking about the most. But there's also just more exciting things happening in the world of One Piece that I wanted to talk about. And the first one being Kid versus Shanks. Now, this is more of an ode to Shanks because I was not familiar with their game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew that Shanks had motion, just because of like how much everybody revered him. But to see him actually in action and fighting against Kid after we saw what Kid was able to do in Wano, I was like, oh no, this man's a different level. This man might be king of the pirates, bro. Like, Shanks might be the strongest one out here because even what's his name? Like, I'm gonna talk about Garp too, but even Kaido was like, yo, like, just having, you know, a good devil fruit is not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the Conqueror's Haki and like Haki in general is like a different level, like to where it's like, yo, Shanks doesn't even have a devil fruit. So I don't know necessarily like everything he done, but just that fight in general where he basically destroys Kid after Kid is going crazy, and we see his evolution becoming who he is after he was fighting Big Mom with Law. I'm like, bro, like they just keep breaking my brain. Like I don't know what's up and what's down anymore as far as like these hierarchies, because, you know, obviously, you know, Kid and Law didn't become an emperor of the sea, but they still beat one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. They said, you know, never bring a knife to a gunfight, but bro, if you Shanks, you can do anything at this point. Now, Law versus Blackbeard was another fight that I was more so not as excited for, but just worried, because Law is one of my favorite characters, right? And Blackbeard's out here stealing all of these devil fruits. No way Oda lets Law go out like this. And I just was more just like, man, like, Law, you just really out here by yourself. Like, yes, like he has a crew and stuff like that, but it's like, yo, they're no Straw Hats, right? Like, he doesn't even have like a really like a second that like the polar bear is a good second now that like he's unlocked the form without having to need the moon I can't think of what it's called right now, but that's a cool power, but it's limited. You know what I'm saying? So I know that Law can handle his own, but like when his crew compared to Blackbeard's crew or Teach's crew pulls up, I was just like, bro, this is not good. It's not good. And they paid the price. They paid the price. So not only is Law, but Kid out the picture for the foreseeable future. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. This is freaking crazy, bro. Now, the whole world of One Piece has officially changed for me because of the introduction to the next big bad. I'm still learning more and more about it, but the ability to be able to destroy a whole island with the blink of an eye is already a crazy power enough. And then when you combine that with what Sabo discovered during the Reverie, I'm just like, bro, they done broke the game. Like, they literally just broke the game, you know? So that is just another piece of the puzzle that I'm just more so curious on and waiting to see how it plays out. I think for me, Sabo is going to have to really level up very quickly because like Shanks, you know what I'm saying? Initially, he did not have a double fruit, so he had an excuse. Now you got a double fruit. Not only you don't have a double fruit, but it's Ace's double fruit. So you gotta go crazy. You know what I'm saying? That combined with the Dragon Fist, which is like, I don't even know how that's a fist. It's more of like a claw. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like, I need you to go crazy. I know he was hurt and not expecting. He didn't know what he didn't know, and he's shocked and everything. But man, like, the Revolutionary Army is going to have to tee up. I need to see what Dragon's able to do too, other than just be a leader in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Next up, probably the I don't know if I would call that the most rewarding fight, but like, it's a fight that I'll never forget, and that is the battles between mentor and student and former student. Because, you know, be able to see not only Garp's backstory, but also Uzan and Kobe's in the midst of it was just beautiful, bro. Like, it was just a beautiful writing, and it made me feel like, yo, Oda really thought of everything. And to make it so that they're using used battleships as punching bags as a form of training is something that only Oda could think of. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a feat in itself, because how do you beat a ship into submission like that? That's crazy. And they're not using haki either. So that's probably like one of my favorite flashbacks in One Piece, because I just love stuff like that. Like, I don't know what it is, like when it's just like, you're really just beating your fist up against the wall at something, and it's like you get to the point where you don't even know why you're there anymore. And to find out that Kobe was doing this every single night on top of what he was training for, like, we never really seen, you know, a huge transformation from Kobe as far as like his physique and his, you know, presence or whatever, but like his courage has always been there, and then just like his confidence changed, you know what I'm saying? And he was never super show offy or anything a little bit, but that unlock for him during that fight was beautiful. I'll watch it a million times over, bro. Like, those are the things that have me like, bro, One Piece is just the greatest. Like, it's just the greatest, and that's as best as I can keep it, bro. The last thing I want to talk about One Piece was just how the feats are kind of getting kind of crazy, bro. I'm not gonna cap. Like, it's not necessarily breaking immersion the way like Fifth Gear is, but like, to me, Fifth Gear only makes sense because Luffy is the character that's doing it. Now, everybody else leveling up along with the world makes a lot of sense, and they're explaining it very well, but there's still a level of ambiguity that I'm just like, I don't really know how strong each one of these characters are, regardless of if they've unlocked the next stage of the Devil Fruit or not. You know what I'm saying? And then comparison to the Straw Hats, like Sanji got an upgrade, but it's like how much more is like, you know, his modified body can, you know, access. And then also Zoro just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and it's just amazing to see. But you know, everybody else cool too, but I'm just saying, like, those main three is getting spooky, bro. Like, these feats are getting kind of spooky, and I'm like, is this still a pirate anime, you know? So that's like kind of the thoughts going through my head as I'm about to get back into sub and break my brain again watching One Piece. But you know, that's where I'm at on my One Piece journey right now. Let me know where y'all are at, what episodes you are, and yeah, let's get into the next segment.